Examples of how we have financed transition and decarbonization agenda. So again, various examples in mining sector as well as shipping. Uh, Again, in clean and green, I think I have lots of pictures. Again, my colleagues are all here, so we'll be happy to take you through some market projects which we have done under this segment. And coming to empowering MSME. So again, when we say MSME is actually there in all operations of the bank. But again, how do you focus in such a way that more and more marketing efforts or more and more interactions happen with the MSME? So our Ubarte Sitare program, which I'm sure I spoke last year and the year before also, that's one of the wonderful programs for the bank. This program is gaining strength to strength. So Ubarte Sitare program basically means we help Indian companies who have a differentiated product process, and there we help these companies through loans, through grants, as well as through equity products. So whatever is the requirement of that company, and again, typically these companies are in the MSME sector. Trade assistance program, again last year we spoke about it, so this year this program has actually grown a lot. So again, I have my colleagues, my DMDs here, so we can talk a lot about trade assistance program because we feel very enthused and encouraged by this program, and we feel that this program actually can lead to incremental exports from the country. So we, in the small experience, or I would say just barely a year and a half experience, we've actually done more than $1 billion, $1.5 billion of transactions. And these are typically exports by MSMEs to all types of countries, the difficult countries, good countries, all type of countries. So as Exim Bank, we are definitely focused on seeing how we can scale up this program. And this is where our foray in terms of trade finance also comes in. Last year, that is August 2023, we actually set up a Gift City, a subsidiary at Gift City. Now broadly this is for providing trade finance solutions, and we are also trying to focus on factoring. So factoring as a financing instrument, we are trying to see how best we can sort of develop that for Indian exporters. And we of course, for the MSMEs, we also have Exim, which is our online portal, which provides all types of information, advisory and support services to bridge the information gaps for exports and export finance, especially for the MSMEs. Just quick numbers on our Ubarte Sitare program. So as of 31st March 2024, we have provided finance in excess of 1,000 crore to 62 entities, again with various sectors, and very, very interesting novel sectors. We also did 5 equity investments. We actually have a commitment of around 357 crore under the fund. The Ubarte Sitare fund is basically an alternate investment fund where Exim Bank has contributed. So that fund has also started operations and doing well. Again, there the target companies are very similar, innovative and export-oriented companies. We've also provided all these Ubarte Sitare, when we look at, these are typically deep tech, high tech, med tech, those type of sectors, which as bankers, however much we like to be sophisticated and savvy, we don't understand that well. So what Exim Bank has done is, we have over the past 3 years, in fact during the COVID that endeavor started, we have developed very close relationships and collaborations with the academia. And that we realize is the most important link for us today when we do, or we have the, I would say, courage to finance sectors which, we don't even, it's very new age. So we have provided technical assistance to the incubation or the innovation sectors, for example of IIT Mumbai, IIT Delhi, Ahmedabad, IIM, or IIC Bangalore for catalyzing them. So these are the centers, typically the technology-driven entrepreneurship which comes out from these sectors. So this is something which we would like to encourage and facilitate to the extent possible by the bank. Some examples in terms of the type of sectors we are looking at under our Ubarte Sitare. So innovative solutions for promoting sustainability. There is also cutting edge, so that's one of the focuses of the program. Healthcare, we are seeing increasingly Indian companies doing extremely well, and other very interesting solutions which are being innovated by the Indian MSMEs. Some of the examples of our again Ubarte Sitare program, very, very closely linked to the ESG type of mandate of the bank also. I think in the interest of time, I'll just let you just have the look at pictures, but happy to go through these projects with you. Very interesting, this last one, if you see this girl with a fractured hand, but I'm sure she's not feeling that unhappy as we would have felt when we were breaking our hands. So lots of innovation happening in the med tech, where this is an orthopedic immobilizer. So rather than that plaster of Paris cast, this actually works similarly. So I hope none of us have to go through this experience, but at least a better option than normal. Again, when we look at defense capabilities, I think this is just scratching the surface. I think this opportunity and potential is much more. But just maybe putting on the slide some 2 or 3 such projects which we have done. Again, in addition to defense as a sector, it showcases the level of technology or the innovation of the Indian companies, and these are being exported from India. So that's a very interesting feather in the cap of the country, where we have started exporting defense, and these also to developed countries. Some of the examples I mentioned earlier about how we have tied up or how we are closely collaborating with the academia. So I would like to give credit to the academia for this particular program, because without them I don't think we could have had we would have the I would say conviction to approve projects which are very new age, which are towards relatively smaller companies. But our experience has been extremely good in this program. Trade assistance program I mentioned earlier. Again, these numbers, frankly, when we look at it, we feel we have done exceedingly well. And if we look at the opportunity and the potential, I think it's much more somewhere. So since December 22, we have actually supported more than 500 transactions of over $1 billion. And these typically are touching more than 125 exporters, again across the cities. The other problem with Exim Bank is that how do we penetrate in the smaller cities and where most of the innovation is happening. So this program has actually helped us deliver that, and we have actually helped these companies export to more than 33 countries. And it's safe to say that these are all incremental exports. So if we had not done this, this export would have not happened. So this is little in addition to what the exports happen from the country. Again, these are some of the examples. Again, very interesting examples. A small MSME in Bhubaneswar who provides IT solutions and services for national ID enrollment campaign. So this was done this is in Ethiopia. Again, two-wheeler brand, very well-known two-wheeler brand, exporting, but not exporting to a particular country. So how do you help them export to that country also? So Latin America and Sri Lanka, because Sri Lanka, again, a little bit of conservativeness is there in Indian companies to do business with them. Electrical networks in Burundi, equipment for hospital in Nicaragua. So varied examples of this program. This I mentioned earlier about our subsidiary in GIFT City. So this is another venture of the bank. We are looking at scaling up in the current year. So it will provide trade finance products, will focus on factoring. We believe that factoring is a very good financing mechanism for Indian exporters, especially the MSMEs. The idea is, how do we talk about this program, how do more and more outreach will happen in terms of what are the benefits of this mechanism. So 24-25, that is the current year, we look forward to having operations from this subsidiaries. Now coming to promotion and developmental role, this is again something very close to our heart. We've been always doing. We keep adding more sectors, more geographies to what we do. Again, building capacity and enhancing competitiveness at grassroots levels for rural businesses. So some of the examples. Again, district as export hub. So this is something we are hoping and we would like to support as much as we can. We've done quite a bit of projects in the year 23-24, and in 24-25 we are hoping to do a multiple of what we did in 23-24. Again, capacity building continues to be very close to our hearts in terms of the operations we do. Again, within that, when we talk about empowering women and rural women, so that also continues to be our focus area. Artisans again, so we look at promoting the art or the artisans which are struggling. So that is something where how do you create awareness, how do you train, how do you provide them training so that they get aligned with what's happening today in the world, and then how do you provide them with market. So all these three elements. CSR again as Exim Bank, not really required under the Companies Act, but this is something again we have voluntarily adopted, and we are seeing our CSR initiatives also growing from year to year. Again, most of the CSR activities we did in 23-24 are on these themes of educational initiatives, environment and healthcare. Coming to policy evolution, so Exim Bank has a very large research wing. We provide a lot of policy inputs to the Government of India, various ministries and Government of India. And we have a country test, we have an industry test. We do a lot of business in different countries, so it helps us there also. On the left, we have just listed the countries or the region focus where we continue and update our studies. Sectors also, we look at specific sectors. Again, for Exim Bank, if it has an export potential, then of course that sector becomes very important to us. And again, when we look at trade, so on trade also various articles and studies or research has been done. We also started, I should not say started, we've always been doing, but state level studies. As you may be aware that most of the states are also having their own export strategy. So also looking at or benchmarking themselves vis-a-vis where the other states are. Because for example, we all know that in India there are 4 states who do most of the exports from the country. And why are the other states not able to do? What's the problem there? Whether clusters will help or logistics will help, or maybe they don't have the products which are exportable. So we really don't know. But most of these states actually at the state government level are very, very keen on developing their exports. So this is something as Exim Bank we look forward to helping. So and again there one of the ways of looking at this is that okay, top exporting states and middle exporting states. So when we look at middle exporting states, how do we grow that? So that is one. And then we also get commissioned by state governments in terms of helping them with their export strategy. Okay, so this is another part of the policy or a research wing of ours where we look at the FTAs also very closely. So again, we also want to share our knowledge. So we also get a couple of consultancy projects, and we help some of our partner countries in areas in which we feel we can share our knowledge with. Again, our export leading index model, we're particularly proud about that model. We have a consistently accurate numbers which have been coming from that model of ours. We look at promoting or encouraging research, so some of the awards and citations which we have given, some examples here. Okay. So I think with that I think this is the last slide. So what is the way forward? Way forward is we continue to do what we have been doing. I think whatever we have been doing is making sense. Again, when we look at our primary role, that is encouraging exports from India and increasing international investment by Indian companies. So this will continue to be the core activity of the bank. Now, in order to do that, we will look at maybe improving our own setups, so maybe looking at new offices which we could set up in India and overseas so that we can touch base with the Indian companies who will export as well as we touch base with the global banks and institutions and buyers. Again, I mentioned about the Exim Mitra portal which is meant for the MSME, so we are looking at an improved version and launching that and then trying to integrate that with the other databases so we get a more useful app for the MSMEs. I'm seeing that share of business also going up in the coming years. So with this, thank you so much for your patience hearing, and I'll be happy, my colleagues are here with me, we are happy to take any questions or explain anything in particular of your interest. Thank you.